What? I've been practicing that all day for this, guys. I prepared that for hours just for this moment. Hello, sports card collectors, investors, all the collectibles friends out there that are in this universe that are watching all of this collectibles craziness going on. How are you doing? I feel like I'm actually I was joked at by one of my hobby buddies. All right, I'm just going to say it. It was Steve, Flippin' Steve, talking about how I'm trying to be like Tom Brokaw or Walter Cronkite. Well, you know what? We're better than that. We're better than Tom Brokaw. No, we're not. We're not. But we're still going to report on the stuff that's fun to report on. This is huge hobby news. This is unprecedented type stuff. I'm not trying to over dramatize it. It's just reality. I mean, we're going to talk today about Fanatics, who is coming in, making waves, and essentially taking a license away from Major League Baseball that has been there for 70 years with Topps. Before we dig into it, guys, please hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear, the like button, and if you want to just, be notified of all the videos coming out. Lately, it's been a lot of them, but if you could just give me a little tappity tap on the notification bell or a karate chop, according to my son or my daughter, I would very much appreciate it. All right, who is Fanatics? This is kind of funny. So, of course, I've heard of Fanatics being just a huge sports apparel memorabilia company. And I saw them at the National. They had a huge booth at the National. Actually, when I met up with Brad, the comeback card investor, at that show, we met at the Fanatics booth, and it was impressive. They had, signed helmets. They actually had, the one that I really liked was they had a Joe Montana signed helmet. And I'm not a huge 49ers fan, but just the awesomeness of it. I mean, they had a lot of signed helmets, but I was like, man, they've got some serious stuff. And the guy actually, there's sales guys kind of all over the place and girls all over the place. And they were talking about different mystery boxes that they had. They had it was either $10,000 or $12,000 Tom Brady mystery box filled with some type of apparel or whatever. And I guess someone bought one, a 10 or 12,000. Well, I think they sold multiple of these. And this Tom Brady box, but apparently the guy got like a graded ticket or something that was signed by Tom Brady, and I think it was like the first game he'd ever played in as a Patriot. It was a sweet item. Anyway, I think the point they were trying to make is the guy got his money's worth out of this $10,000 box that they were selling. I was just like, man, I knew about Fanatics, and where I've also heard from them is they signed Tom Brady to a deal, to an autograph deal. I believe they just signed Trevor Lawrence. They've got a bunch of big names that they've signed for autograph deals. So that's how I knew about them on the mem side, sports memorabilia side. I didn't realize how big they were, though. I didn't realize how big of a company. I mean, when we look at this, they've essentially kind of moved Topps off the spot, and they're worth 14 times as much as Topps is. And I did not realize that. The one thing that's interesting is the timing of it. Topps was just about to potentially make a deal to go public with a SPAC next week, I think. I mean, they were literally right about to do this thing over the next few days, over the next week. And this news, I just don't see how it helps that deal. I don't see how it would help it at all. Maybe there's something I don't know. Obviously, I am no expert on any of that stuff, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be helpful for that deal. Now, let's also say too, this doesn't go into effect. Sportico reported a great article. I'll put some pics up of this with more explanations on things, but they reported that this goes into effect 2026. So we still have another 5 years, the way that things are, then Fanatics kind of takes over. My question here is the big lingering thing that just pops up at me with this announcement is, are they going to go with their own stuff? Meaning are they going to go with their Fanatics cards, whatever those are? Because Fanatics does not currently manufacture trading cards. They don't have that in their repertoire. Now, there's been rumors that Panini is on the block to be sold. Topps obviously is. It's in the news. My question is does Fanatics, if they're just throwing money around here, do they pick up those brands as well? And maybe, again, I'm no business whatever. I'm just a guy up in my, bonus room on the 3rd floor making random videos, and that's about it. So take it with a grain of salt, folks. But, I mean, could they essentially get a discount on Topps maybe down the line a little bit with this announcement. If they're kind of taking the meat of the value of Topps, they're taking it for themselves, all of a sudden that Topps brand is still out there. What is Topps going to do? What are they going to do moving forward? And I do know Topps has got other things. They have other revenue streams, so it's not like it's just sports cards that they're involved in. But I just wonder, Fanatics kind of putting all this money out into the universe, obviously pure speculation, could they also pick up these brands, pick up Panini, pick up Topps, and that way they just put Fanatics on the box, but it's still the same stuff. So that way they're not trying to kind of like hoping, that the public is great with, Fanatics Velociraptor skinned prisms or whatever they're going to bring out. That's kind of my question there is, because you see that with a lot of companies where instead of, building up their own manufacturing or building their own brand, they will buy existing brands. And these are serious existing brands. Panini for sure, but Topps goes back 70 years. I mean, I think they would I would assume that Fanatics would love to have that IP, that they would love to be able to put Topps Chrome on their stuff. I don't know if Fanatics Chrome has got that same ring to it. I don't know, but who knows? I think the one thing is there's years to kind of figure this out. The other part is this first kind of broke today as being a baseball deal, but as more and more news comes out, it looks to me like they've made a deal with the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball. So we're talking Panini and Topps being affected by this thing. So I know I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit here talking about the prisms and that stuff, but let me also shed light that we're talking about all of this. So we're talking about the Panini and the Topps license. This to me is kind of funny because you have a lot of people that are so upset with Panini and just can't stand, the production and this and that, the perceived overproduction and all that other stuff that comes with Panini. And now literally like, what are we going to get now with Fanatics? We just don't know. And it's going to start in 5 years? Now, Fanatics is also on the NFT side as well. So I'm wondering if that's also part of it. If you're the Players Association for the MLB, the NFL, the NBA, maybe they're looking at it as like, okay, Fanatics is already kind of like involved in a lot of different areas. Maybe they can kind of bring this whole thing together for us. And let's be frank, Fanatics brought huge money to the table. And that, to me, that was the selling point. I mean, if you're a sports teams, think about it. I mean, with the pandemic going on, think about the revenue lost from people not being able to sit in seats, buy tickets and buy hot dogs and buy Cokes and all that stuff. They've lost revenue there. And the players are thinking about it too, because guess what? Salary caps start dropping. Players start making less money. So what are they going to do? They're going to say like, where can we make money? What about our TV deals? What about our apparel? What about our NFTs? What about our trading cards? And this is where when a company like Fanatics comes in and brings in, the wheelbarrows, multiple wheelbarrows of cash, this is I'm sure it's going to excite them. They're going to take it more seriously than in years past where they've already kind of got these relationships built up, etc. So this is huge, huge news. And I know everyone's like, oh, we're all tired of the news. I get it. But this is actually real news. This is big, big news that is hitting the trading card world. And again, it's all speculation on how a lot of this stuff is going to shake out. And we haven't heard comment from Topps, Panini, all these other companies. So this is just the initial wave of news. So let's see how it all plays out. Let's see how all the dominoes fall. There will be more to come on this, of course. This is just the initial reaction to the story breaking. And we will go from there, guys. So thanks very much for joining us today. We'll be back to you soon. I do have Brad the Comeback Card Investor. By the time this comes out, I might be about to go live. Brad the Comeback Card Investor, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. And we'll talk a little bit more about this. Stay healthy. Stay awesome. I'll talk to you again later.